Greetings, Elmbrook Church. My name is Alice Atkins. I'm the Associate National Director of Asian American Ministries for InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. Out of my roles and responsibility, I wanted to share with you my calling to this job. It was actually in Wisconsin, working with Hmong students and Hmong staff, that I realized that the Southeast Asian students and staff had so much to offer us in terms of their stories, how they see scripture, and even how to do ministry. So out of that, I saw that their narratives were very different, being from the first in their family to go to college, to their different Southeast Asian backgrounds, from Hmong shamanists to Vietnamese Catholics to Cambodian Buddhists. So what are we doing to contextualize our ministry to reach all this diversity and to reach these different students? One thing I realized also was that fundraising was a challenge for Southeast Asian staff coming from refugee backgrounds, understandably so. So the last 7 years, we've been working to growing Southeast Asian ministry, and we actually finished our 5-year plan a year ago. We saw increased number of Southeast Asian staff. We ran a Southeast Asian Leadership Institute nationally for students, which was a lot of fun. And we also heard so much from the Lord during it. And we also have a staff now solely doing planting Southeast Asian ministry, Southeast Asian small groups, and thinking about how to contextualize and reach Southeast Asian students. He is in the South. But with all this, we now find ourselves at a crossroads. The 4 staff who have been on the leadership team are all on their 8th year. And they are actually all in a discernment process as to whether it is time for them to leave staff, whether the Lord has called them to the next thing. And this is quite natural and normal in a normal life cycle. What is not normal is that we don't have any staff in the 5 to 7 year range to take over. And so at this point, what we need and what I need is prayer from you guys, prayer for discernment of what that means for me. I had given away most of the leadership because we want Indigenous leaders to be leading. And I've been actually mostly doing advocating, consulting, and doing some of the implementation, execution, logistics that they've come up with for me. And so would you pray with us for wisdom as to what is next for Southeast Asian ministry? What is our next 5-year plan? How am I supposed to be involved in it? If you know, our family has actually moved to Europe. And so that poses to be one of the challenge of working remotely and whether God is calling me to enter back in. Another prayer request, I think this prayer request is for all of us, is what does it look like to transition out of this pandemic? What is the new normal? What do we keep from the old ways of how we've done things? And what do we wisely discard given the new situation? In InterVarsity, we've been trying to think through this and discern. An example would be Gen Z is very comfortable and almost prefers online gatherings. Which interestingly, even the millennials are not as comfortable or don't enjoy as much less the rest of us older folks. So how much do we shift and change? And I'm praying that for you also, as you in your different areas of life and different responsibilities would have wisdom and discernment from the Lord as to how you will move forward in the new normal, transitioning out of pandemic. So friends, thank you so much for your continued support and your prayer throughout all these years. We send greeting from Amsterdam's blessings.